Welcome to the Avaya Wireless LAN Design training session. This course is intended for sales engineers and is on a pre-sales and technical level. You can pause the session at any time, return to an earlier point, or click and follow any hyperlink for further information. This course is part of the Avaya Professional Design Specialist APDS authorization curriculum and covers wireless LAN telephony requirements, Avaya Wireless LAN 8100 product portfolio, wireless LAN network integration, Avaya Wireless LAN 8100 network architecture design, wireless LAN security, wireless LAN site survey, case studies, competitive landscape, the value proposition, and some resources.
You will be able to match the features and/or functionality of the Avaya Wireless LAN portfolio that addresses the business needs and issues. Identify customer challenges related to wireless LAN and wireless LAN security. Describe how Avaya Wireless LAN can address these challenges. Communicate the value of Avaya Wireless LAN to the customer. Position Avaya Wireless LAN as the solution for business challenges. Differentiate Avaya Wireless LAN against competitors' products.
We start with an overview of the wireless LAN challenges and the transition of the wireless LAN infrastructure as the customer demand and market requirements change. Our objectives for this module are to look at the customers and market verticals where wireless LAN solutions are most applicable, to examine and review the challenges and business issues the customers are facing due to the wireless LAN business needs. We will evaluate the user requirement to seamlessly roam with mobile devices across an enterprise, visualize how the public and private clouds will change and shape in the future, analyze some of the statistical reports of the worldwide use of wireless-enabled devices in enterprise wireless LANs. We will highlight the implications of inadequate planning for the demand by wireless LAN market requirements.
One of the main technological requirements that makes the wireless LAN 8100 a necessity is securely providing wireless access to employees and guests. Enterprise customers need to provide mobile network access for employees while restricting access for other users. The wireless LAN 8100 portfolio is applicable to all industries but fits especially well into the healthcare, government and education, the largest market share. Education needs to provide wireless LAN technology in the classroom while safely and securely allowing students to connect to the network using their own laptops and other personal devices. Government wants to provide secure wireless access to customers in libraries and other public locations. They need to be able to distinguish between general public and the staff network privileges. In healthcare, secure wireless LAN access is a necessity, while at the same time being able to allow access to medical devices. The solution is aimed at medium to large enterprises and fits across all verticals. Wireless network access typically represents many network devices. Some of the biggest challenges are to accommodate the growth in mobile devices and the bring your own device expansion, providing the bandwidth and network scalability in supporting the real-time apps running on these devices with quality of service. Network performance and maintaining the access required is crucial to user satisfaction and productivity. Secure access on wireless networks is something that has always been a challenge. Ensuring that administrators, users, and guests are all granted the appropriate level of access to resources, while at the same time ensuring that sensitive corporate assets are protected. With the growth in mobile devices and the expectation from the users, it has become a challenge to the infrastructure in delivering the capacity to accommodate the demand. Performance, reliability, and cost to provision and maintain the provided wireless LAN infrastructure is also a challenge faced by many enterprises today and into the future.
How do you seamlessly and transparently make users mobile?
Mobility is the feature that end users and management are demanding in order to make them more productive. Allowing end users and guests with their mobile devices to seamlessly roam across this enterprise network landscape is what is required. The end user does not need to know, does not want to know, that they have changed their point of attachment to the network. You want to make it appear to the wireless LAN user as though they haven't moved. The network and resources, as they have become accustomed to it, must simply be there for them wherever they move within the corporate environment. Wherever the user happens to be, provide their VLAN, their IP address, their access authorizations, secure access to all the resources they need. Do all this without re-engineering the core network, as it's complex enough already, adding to your IT headcount because you can be certain that there's no budget for that. Supporting mobile users and unregistered devices is not an easy task.
IDC Worldwide report that we can expect video to be a network killer application on mobile devices that will significantly increase. The migration to public and private clouds will change and shape network requirements in the future, and that process is already in place. With hardware and networks becoming faster, it becomes easier to virtualize over the network. The consumer and mobile device users are forcing IT departments of many enterprises to adopt these new technologies.
Wireless LAN has never been in greater demand due to the marketing explosion of smartphones, tablets, and high bandwidth video and collaborative applications. Gartner report that enterprises deploying iPads will need 300% more Wi-Fi, and 70% of new enterprise users by 2013 will be wireless by default and wired by exception. A report from Aberdeen in 2011 states that 72% of organizations permit the use of employee-owned devices on their networks. Gartner also report that video soft clients will be growing at 340% through 2015. In the past, wireless LANs were deployed for convenience. They were not designed for pervasive Wi-Fi services, real-time communication, and high throughput. Gartner reported in January 2012 that the number of mobile-enabled workers relying on a wired Ethernet switch connection will decline as wireless LAN coverage expands in enterprises. By 2015, there will be enough wireless LAN infrastructure installed to support 51% of the worldwide installed base of professional mobile-enabled workers. Access to powerful smartphones and tablets has changed how we live. Being connected is now an expectation for everyone.
Are employees willing to share the cost burden?
Yes, 48% of employees pay all the cost, and 9% pay some of the cost of the smartphone they use for work. 40% also pay all, and 14% pay some of the cost of the monthly bill. While there is no guarantee that every employee wants one phone for both work and personal use, it's clear from the data that a majority of US information workers are willing to share the cost and benefit of a smartphone they can use at home and for work. BYOD brings with it a number of risks and rewards. The key is to understand and mitigate the risk through upfront planning so the rewards can be realized. For employers whose networks are ready to support the surge in wireless traffic, the bring your own device revolution promises huge gains in productivity, mobility, and cost savings, all on devices purchased not by businesses themselves, but by their employees.
Do organizations need a plan to cope with the effects of BYOD?
Yes, indeed they do. Additional proof points on the implication of inadequate BYOD planning, in particular the impact of BYOD on the wireless network, is available from Gartner, the Convergent Policies of Wired and Wireless LANs report. It stipulates that by 2015, 80% of newly installed wireless networks will be obsolete due to lack of proper planning for new context-rich applications that require more bandwidth. The key takeaway for BYOD is not just about controlling access to the network. You must consider the impact of the increased number of users and devices on the network, as well as security and QoS implications. If not planned for upfront, it can cost dearly later on.
Self-assessment is an important part of the learning process. After each lesson, you will be presented with a knowledge check question.